gentlemen, my name is Patricia, and welcome to X Marks the Box, an Xbox podcast. And I'm with my good friend, Alice. How are you doing, Alice?
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
2023.
Star Wars and all that stuff.
Yeah. 20 years since there's a bunch of great games in 2003, which includes Need for Speed Underground and Jak 2. I think back then I just got a PlayStation 2, but there's still like plenty of good stuff with the Xbox in like 2003
the original
as well.
Xbox.
Didn't Jade Empire like came out in 2003 or was it 2004?
I'm not sure. Obviously, like Halo 2, 2003. I think.
No, that's
2004.
It was only delayed by a year.
Nah, damn. Well, there's some good stuff on Xbox, nonetheless. Even though I can only think of Halo at the top of my mind. So this is our first proper, second episode of 2023. You weren't feeling very well last week, so hopefully we're going to be a bit more lively.
I still had a bit of a cough at the moment, so it just kind of affects my voice and make it a bit more coarse, but I can still pull it off really. So yeah, just trying to flaunt it out in the front of the webcam. So yeah.
What's Anakin Skywalker say about sand? He doesn't like it because it's coarse and irritated, right? I don't like sand. I don't like sand.
I'm thinking about the men, women, and children on it.
Speaking of Star Wars, Bazinga. Yeah. I'm just wiring up all the Star Wars Trek fans right there. Anyway, apart from having the word "star" in it, and they're both being sci-fi. They're not really any very similar at all. They're very different things. But anyway, that is beside the point.
But anyway, now regarding the recent talks on YouTube, because we also host this podcast on YouTube, the new policy changes means now reducing the violence and language, so therefore we're not allowed to host a lot of graphical violence, which is going to be fun with the gameplay footage, but we're also not allowed to swear as much as often, because if we swear within the first 15 seconds of the video, or we swear more often, more than 4 times, our videos get demonetized. We're not monetizing our videos in the moment, so I don't know how this works. But it just means we're not allowed to swear as much as before. So therefore, we just have to be careful to keep the swear jar really empty.
I like swearing, though, is the thing. I want to swear right now. I want to swear for comical effect, because it's funnier then when you say, but I'm not going to.
It's your money.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, I can't effing swear. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, it just reminds me of when I was Newport University for the first year, I was trying to get around and get know my friends. Mm-hmm. And then I just got this swear jar. So if any of our flatmates swear, we have to put money into it.
Damn.
So that was literally my idea.
I would be broke. I swear too much. I swear all the time. I have done stuff like hospital radio and stuff in the past, so I can control my mouth. But it's it is difficult for me. I like to swear. I don't find swear words offensive. I just find them funny, and it's just it's when you're scared of using specific words, then you're giving power to those words. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I see it anyway. I find South Park hilarious, and Uncle Effa in the movie. The whole song's just swear word after swear word, and I just find it absolutely hysterical because I'm a child and I love swear words. They make me laugh.
Well, to me, I think it was the words of aggression, but I have more tolerance with the swear words compared to the rest of my family. Even my sister hates a lot of swearing. So it's
fair enough.
Well, my family thinks as if they're pompous, except they come from the farming background. Except they're just like doing properties and all that, so they're just trying to get out to it. Yeah. But anyway, so I think there was something else there, but oh crap!
So
I forgot what I was going to say.
It's all right. So I mean, yeah. So
this episode we're going to try and hair. Look at my hair. I dyed it.
Nice. I need to sort my hair out. My hair is a mess. It's awful, my hair. I need to cut it. I need to get a haircut.
Oh, yeah, it just reminds me. On the topic of swearing, as I just remembered now, there is one thing I was about to say that will make you mad.
Uh-oh. Go on.
I had a McDonald's today.
Oh, why would that make me mad? It was a vegan one.
Well, it is. I went for the double McPlant that's got 2 vegan patties in it. It's really good.
It's not. It's not. I've tried it before. It's horrible.
You tried a McPlant before?
Well, my mum bought it, and I had a bite of it because I didn't want one. I had a bite of the McPlant my mum bought, and it's no, not sold. No, thank you.
To me, I think it's just quite nice, really. So I would like
I'm a
make
carnivore,
it into a more turn it into more of a vegan podcast. Anyway, but
I'll be gone.
It's green. Look, it's green.
It's green. No more. Yeah. So this episode is a special one because we are doing our first ever Game Critic Draft. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like if you've ever done fantasy football or fantasy football, you basically have a team of we're gonna pick a game of. We're going to both pick a team of games, and then which one gets the highest review throughout the year wins a prize or something. We haven't decided what the winner gets, if anything. But it'll be fun. That's something I've been really looking forward to doing it for years. I've been watching the Easy Allies do it and Kind of Funny do it, and other YouTubers do it. I've been looking forward to doing it myself. Super excited. I love fantasy football. I've got my own fantasy football team for like the Premier League, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm on it every other day, just swapping my players around.
Yeah,
it's like make sure I got Haaland in the front with the
yeah.
He's my captain because he scores all the goals.
But anyway, it just reminds me of the Fantasy League in school, which I didn't take part of. I was completely oblivious of what it is, but I just when you explained about how you got your Fantasy League and how it works, it's just like, oh, cool. It's just like, I just found out. Damn it, stupid cough. It's where you just pick the existing games and then see if they're going to score higher or some sort like that. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's like...
We'll discuss it more when we get to it, because we got a couple of things to get through first. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the fantasy draft is me and you, we're both going to take turns picking games, and we're going to try and pick the games that we think are going to review the best this year, essentially.
So is it
I've also added a twit.
Yeah. So is it like so for what I see it, it's like the Fantasy League where you get to pick the best tools for the job.
Yeah. I mean, so if we did this last year, I would pick Elden Ring and get a load of points, and you would pick God of War and get a load of points, and then someone would pick Saints Row. All right. Well, anyway, someone would have picked Saints Row and got no points because that game was awful, and then it's like that. And that's how it works, really. I've added a little twist to it as well. That I've made a third team that's going to go against us that picks all the PlayStation exclusives. So we can't pick PlayStation exclusives. We can only pick Xbox exclusive and Nintendo and PC. PC, Nintendo, Xbox we can pick, but PlayStation, that's taken by the PS We Trust auto team. So that should be... So we've got to see if we can beat the PlayStation team, even though it's just all done automatically through it. So that'll be fun.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. But before we get to that, let's talk about what we've been playing. Speaking of God of War, you're saying you wouldn't have picked God of War. I've been playing God of War. On my PS5.
Finally played it.
I finally played it. It's good. I I don't. Everyone says it's good, and it is good. It's like God of War 2018, and it's slightly better with better graphics. I'm enjoying it. I've played a couple of hours. I don't see how people can say this is the greatest game ever made, and I still think Elden Ring is miles better. Personally, I still put Elden Ring way above it on Game of the Year. Saying I haven't got that far into it yet. Maybe at the end of the game, something will blow my mind. But so far, it's really fun. It's just like basically is a really. It's like watching a Marvel movie, but with like more interaction and stuff in it. It's just like a fun story. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's good. I like the characters.
Only with the heroes giving you stilted dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. I like this. I like the characters. I like the world. The gameplay when you do get to play is quite fun. But I wouldn't rate it one of my favorite games of last year. If I did it, if I played it last year, it probably wouldn't have made it into my top 5. But I'm enjoying what I'm playing of it so far. Maybe I'll get to the top 5 by the time I finish it. But I thought I'll try and play it before some games come out this year because it's like I got pre-ordered Fire Emblem Engage, and also that's coming out in January, and then also Atomic Heart's coming out in February. So I need to get these games. I need to complete my backlog before the end of the month because everything's going to start coming out.
Like Hogwarts Legacy, for instance.
Oh no, I'm not getting that.
Me neither. Nope. And if any of you is like interested by it, well, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but then
not going to stop you.
But if you're not sure or you're in and out, don't buy it because you're just like promoting transphobia that's behind this whole thing. But I'm not going to go into much details without getting into a huge hissy fits with a bunch of like transphobes. But whatever.
No, I won't. I'm not fussed on it. I'm not going to get it. I mean, spoilers for the fantasy draft. The PlayStation team do have Hogwarts Legacy on their auto picks because I knew neither of us were going to pick it. So it might not come up though because I don't know how it works. I think it might be they pick randomly from their auto selection. So it should be fun. But yeah, God of War's pretty good. I would give it 7 or 8 out of 10 so far. I'm enjoying it, but it's the same as 2018. It feels like I'm just playing the same. It's like a continuation. It feels like an expansion or a DLC. And it's got slightly better graphics and yeah, it's fun. I don't know why it beat Elden Ring and loads of people's Game of the Year awards. I feel like Elden Ring is miles better, but I'm still enjoying it. No hate to people who enjoyed it. I just don't get it why you would put that above Elden Ring personally.
Nah.
Or Vampire Survivors for that matter, because Vampire Survivors is also a bloody awesome game. That's also a game I've been playing. We've talked about Vampire Survivors so bloody much. I won't talk about it again today.
I haven't even touched it really.
And I also played a little bit of High on Life as well, which I haven't got that far into yet. It's fun.
I haven't even started it still, so
it's all right. It's all right. It's fun. It's fun. The sense of humor. I enjoy the humor in Rick and Morty and High on Life, but it's like nothing's really got me like belly laughing yet, and I'm hoping that something will. What have you been playing, Alice?
Nilt.
Anything? Nothing. You just be reading books and stuff, is it? And,
yeah, I did a bit of that, but I've certainly played something the last week because last week on Halo Infinite is where there's a Pfizer Bell Tool, which just comes out as a last weekly award before season 2. So I just went in for another chance and get this like pure black Pfizer, so I got it in.
Nice.
This week it's like entrenched stuff. None of it is reduced, and the weekly award is not so great. Probably like spend 14 quid to get a Fallout style helmet for it for like 1,700. But I thought, especially it's going to be like close to like 13 quid because I'm on Game Pass. I'll probably like pass, but maybe probably not. I'm just gonna like save my money and just see if I can get like a new iPad. But I'm just still in deciding. And the moment my flat is like It's okay, but there's a bit of fur on one of the walls there because of assaults.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And also, it's just like trying to prepare for like saving money for things, especially that I might get a new thing because it's classified. It's a family business.
Fair.
But anyway, apart from that, it's just like keeping myself at the top of the things and Halo Infinite, played a few matches, it's just same garbage. But
fair enough.
But I saw that the season 3 is going to get a little bit more exciting, but apart from that, it's just like more microtransactions. And I haven't seen a lot interesting to do with it. In fact, I'm more excited to see what the 1008 account is. Like, it's happening on Thursday tomorrow, but at the time of releasing this video or podcast, we just don't know what's really going on.
That's that Pokemon thing, right? Yeah, so there's Pokemon bringing out a video, 1008 encounters, the video's called. So that's to celebrate the fact that there's over 1,000 Pokemon now. I don't know what the video's about. Should be interesting, though.
Now we're just going to have 4 digits, so for what is a Pokédex, it's now turned into Discord.
It's a very, Pokemon 1008. I wonder what that's going to be. Shall we move on to the news then, I guess, as we're already talking about Pokemon news, or...
Well, first of all, it's just, I've been reading a bit more books, so I've just been reading more memoirs, and I've been watching The White Lotus, as well as watching The Metropolis, which is released in 1927. You can watch it in Plex now, so that's what I've been doing. So it's just like, wow, brilliant film. But yeah, because I have a cold, it's just like I'm more interested in other sorts of things. But I think it will be a while before I get back to games, really, because I ended up with some more catching up to do, which delayed because of a cold. I just found out that I think it was a Japanese thing that if you were doing the first thing in the new year, you'll be like likely to do the same fit for the rest of the year. So I tried to do video editing, but then I just got hung up with so much colds that I only went as far as writing a bit for my memoir. So it's just going to be a lot of catching up to do before I can play again.
That's fair. My dog's decided to wake up. I've just been playing God of War and I've been doing a bit of video editing and stuff, so that's fair enough. A lot of interest, because I also have a wrestling channel, if you guys didn't know, pro wrestling. A lot of crazy stuff's been happening in the world of WWE the last few days, so I've been making a lot of videos on that. For example, they might be getting sold to Saudi Arabia, which is not good.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because Saudi Arabia
because I'm morally against...
They're against LGBT rights and amongst other things.
Exactly.
But I think it was like...
They're horrible.
Theocratic system of some sort.
Yeah, I'm not fussed on... basically, I usually... They have wrestling shows in Saudi Arabia and I usually don't react to them or watch videos or anything about them, because I don't like to promote it. And now if it's owned by Saudi Arabia, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't particularly like to support Saudi Arabia, but my channel's all based around WWE, so it's a bit of a conflict of interest. It's a bit awkward. But, like you were saying about Hogwarts Legacy earlier, I don't like to support that either. It's like the same kind of thing. I don't like to support the Saudi stuff.
But if you were to not support it and like not do some of the WWE reacts, will you be like focusing on games instead?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Hopefully they don't sell to Saudi Arabia. That's what I'm going to say. But we'll see.
I would love to see the return of PCCW and the Flyweight Championships. This will rake in views. If you focus on just like Colonels beating the shit out of each other, then it would work.
That was funny, though.
Oh,
I need to get a new recording device for that. Really, I haven't got a good capture card for that. But yeah, that was fun back in the day, I must say.
Well, you could instead get me to do that because I've got a capture card and a Series S, so now I can do that.
True.
So it'll happen.
You'd have to buy the game though, unfortunately, and all that, and I'd have to send you the characters and stuff. It'd be awkward.
Well, except I can make new characters, but I think it's just a question of whether I should get a game or whether I should get an older game, because there's WWE 2017 or the WWE 2022. So which is best?
Yeah. The newest one is the best one, but obviously it's going to probably cost more, so it's just one of those things at the moment. So shall we move on to the news?
Yep.
We got two quick news stories. So this just happened about an hour before we started recording. It officially has been confirmed that the Xbox Developer Direct is a real thing. It was rumored for the last week or so, and now it's official. So on the 25th of January, we're going to be getting an Xbox Developer Direct, which is going to be like a Nintendo Direct, which is going to have Elder Scrolls Online, Redfall, Forza, and Minecraft Legends, and they're going to have longer developer interviews and trailers, and they're going to probably give them release dates, I imagine. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited to see some more Redfall, to be honest, and some more Forza. Are you looking forward to this Developer Direct?
Yeah, I think that should be really interesting, really.
I think next week we should do our predictions of what we think we're going to see at this Direct, because this is going to be the week before. And then, annoyingly, this Developer Direct is on a Wednesday when we record, but it's in the night. So either we have an episode that's completely out of date by the time we upload it, or we have to maybe move it to the next day or something. I don't know what we're going to do about that. It's just annoying timing. Timing-wise, it couldn't be any worse for us.
We'll have to see about that.
Yeah, we'll probably do reactions to it, I imagine, though. I think that'd be fun if we could do some reactions to it. Hopefully it'd be an interesting Direct. Hopefully it's more interesting than their Twitch streams. Their Twitch streams are bloody awful. When we did reactions to that, they just dragged on for ages about fishing and stuff. It was awful, if you remember.
How much is a fish?
Only other news is that Redfall is more like Far Cry than Left 4 Dead. That's what the developers come out and said. So it's a big open world where you can explore the open world, and it's like a Far Cry type game. Whereas everyone thought Redfall was going to be Left 4 Dead clone, it's more of a Far Cry clone with vampires, which sounds better, sounds cool. It makes me excited for it because I like all the arcade games. I like Dishonored, I like Deathloop, and the fact we're gonna have like an open world and like vampires and stuff in it sounds rad. Deathloop with vampires in an open world, I'm totally down for that. I don't know if you. I mean, have you seen? Are you excited for Redfall? Because I am.
Oh, that should be interesting to say at least. But it's coming in spring of this year, so.
Yeah, we'll see. So that is it, really, for the news. Shall we move on to our fantasy draft?
Let's do that. Main screen turn on. Yep.
Fantasy draft. So I'll be running the fantasy draft through my phone.
And I got
you'll get to see what Alex gets to see.
Yeah, it's the Mac Mini, which I got on. Which, if you see properly, we should have this on the screen. So right now we got a league table, which is we got Potato Chief with Potato Games, Proper Neko with Swift Neko Studios, and Sony Pony with a recycle bin.
PS We Trust, which I spoke to the guys at PS We Trust, and they're cool with us doing this. So thank you for that, guys.
Yeah,
we're basically any PlayStation game. So that's the rule we're enforcing for ourselves: is we can't pick a PlayStation exclusives. Third party, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, we're good, but PlayStation 5, I think that because we're an Xbox podcast, so it just seems a bit fair, and it just makes it a bit more interesting that way. So I'm just going to bring it. So So I'm just going to go through the league rules. So over the year, we can pick 20 games over the entire year. So we can buy. So after this draft is done, we can go in and buy more games. And basically, usually this is used for like E3 and stuff when they announce a load of new games. So we're like, ooh, I want to get this game and add it to my team. We can do that. So you can add new games and bid on. We can bid on them after the draft is done. But today we're drafting 10 games each. And then we got our free. We got to have free counter picks through the year. We're picking 2 counter picks today, so that's basically we're going to pick 2 games that we think the other teams is going to score poorly. So basically, if you picked, I don't know, Redfall, and I think Redfall's going to suck, I'll counter pick it, and then I get points if it does badly in the reviews. But I also lose points if it does well. So that's how the counter pick works. That's pretty much it. We got a couple of other rules which might come up when we're playing, but the rule set is if you want to show it to the listeners, where it says public actions, it says see league options. It tells you what all the rules are by there. If you want to just bring that up, just show the people real quick. So we're going to do our draft. So I'm going to set a draft order, manually set it up. Do you want to go first, second, or third? I'll let you pick. It's a snake draft, so if you go third, you get 2 picks when you first pick. If that makes any sense. So it goes back and forth.
I'll pick third.
Third, okay. And I will go. Should I go first?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first. All right. Draft order confirmed. Third place is a good choice, actually. I was quite tempted to go third myself. So let's start drafting. I'm going to pick my... So, let's start drafting. Okay.
Great, let's do this.
The draft to start is to just make it... I heard a ping boom, bing bong noise. Can I pick? Draft a game. Okay. My first choice. Oh, it's so hard. I know I'm going to pick. I'm going to be loyal. I'm going to be loyal to my friend, to God Howard. We are going Starfield is the first pick of the draft because it has to be done. There we go. Pick number 1 done. What in PS We Trust has picked Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which was that's the highest rated PlayStation game, so that makes sense.
Right. So there you go. Got Starfield there. So do you just put in the name into this whole table then? So
at the top it says draft a pack. It says draft a game, and then you search for the game and then draft it.
Okay.
Simple as that. You get to pick 2 now because you were the third place. So obviously tell us what you're going to pick when you're picking it, because it just makes it more interesting.
Oh, and this is interesting. So I think there's a bunch of ones there.
So much good choice. I really am struggling.
Yeah, I think what I would go for is I'm going to pick Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So that's one. And then...
Damn it. That was what I wanted to pick, and I was like, I'm going to pick Starfield to be loyal, but I really wanted to pick Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. And also going to be picking Street Fighter 6, but I think the problem is that...
Good choice.
It's going to really be fantastic because of the single-player campaign, but because of the performance of Street Fighter 5, it's possible it might probably bomb, so... But I'm going to be picking up... I'm just going to be picking it.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I'm just going to be picking it anyway, and that's what I got there, so... Now,
I was not expecting that. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice. I wasn't expecting that. So that it's got back to the PlayStation people. Oh, Forspoken is being picked by PlayStation in PS We Trust. Right, whatever. I don't care about Forspoken. So now I get to pick 2 games now because it's got back to me. Oh, okay. I'm gonna... What do I pick? Ooh, this is hard. I'm gonna pick... I got a good one. I'm excited for this one. My second pick is Resident Evil 4 Remake. because, yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing
Resident
is,
Evil.
it is a remake of Resident Evil 4, so I'm not sure it will be like huge, but it's no surprise if it gets high ratings, so I think I would say probably that, really.
And my second choice, I think we're going to play it safe here, and a game that's probably guaranteed to get 8s and 9s on the draft, but not the most glamorous choice. Forza Motorsport.
That's a good choice, actually. So, what's that noise? I don't know if you noticed on the mic, but I just heard on the speakers that tells me that, you had to draft a game, so let's do this.
Okay. Now, Hogwarts Legacy has been picked by PS We Trust.
As expected, so that's definitely perfect. Now,
that's fine, we don't want it.
Now, I think out of this choices on the first page, it's just like there's some really good choices there, but my only concern with Pikmin 4 is
that's a good one.
It's only been announced, and I don't know if it's going to come out this year. So I think this might be.
That's the tricky thing with this draft, is because that's what you want to pick games that are going to come out, but then you don't lose out on Pikmin. Pikmin's a good choice. I was hoping I could sneakily pick that up when no one would notice. That's a good choice, though. I like Pikmin.
I'm not going to pick it.
So you get to pick 2 again as well, by the way. Oh, you're not? Oh, okay.
So
maybe pick it up later.
I'm just going to go through, and I believe an Atomic Heart might actually work. So I'm going to select
that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. I like the Atomic Heart. Ooh. But that's also a game I could see being awful at the same time, though. But I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good.
Also,
it's a good pick.
I'm also gonna be picking Persona 4 Golden because I have some confidence that people might actually enjoy it, because you can only play it on like PlayStation 2 and the Vita. So now it's just like being offered on like more systems, so people are more like.
I'm not sure if it.
Sorry,
I'm not sure if it's going to let you pick that. You might be. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it, but because sometimes like re-releases, they don't let you pick. They're only like remakes and stuff. So if it's a re-release, it might not let you pick it.
Well,
because it's already come out on other consoles. That's how the system works. I think. It might work. I'm not sure.
It's already showing out as a available choice anyway. And not only that...
Oh, go for it.
Yes, and not only that, it's just like... I don't know, I just forgot what I was going to say, but I think I would definitely go for that, because people are most likely going to give it really good reviews for it, so I'm going to pick that.
That sounds good. That's a good choice. Persona... Switch. Nice. I like it. Persona 4 Golden Switch. I love it.
You know when
Dead Space remake has been taken, damn it.
Yeah, but
I was going to take that.
I was going to say that I got the Persona 4 on the PlayStation Vita, which I got on the OLED model, but I replaced it with the Slim edition. I still own both versions because the OLED edition is like really fantastic. That Slim has got much better controls, but the OLED screen is like supremely good. And it looks so good for like Persona 4, which is why if you got the Switch OLED and you're going to get Persona 4, then you're definitely going to be benefiting it as when you enjoy it on your Vita. So I have a lot of confidence with this one.
I'm going to pick my next choice is Armored Core Fires of Rubicon, because it's made by From Software, and From Software don't miss. They're very consistent. And then I got another pick. Oh, I don't know what to do for my next pick. I got a couple of choices in my head. I don't know what to go for. Do I go for a risky one, or do I go for a safe one?
Go for the risky one, actually, because
I'm gonna go for a risky one, and I think it's gonna hopefully it'll pay off for me, and it might even be Game of the Year. We're going to go with Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Will it come out next year? Hopefully. I really hope it does. That's me being an optimist. Stalker 2 is now my choice.
Well...
And then
Stalker 2, I would have to say that it's a little bit unknown whether this comes out this year or not, and that's the only risk with it. But otherwise, it's likely to be highly selling and it's likely to get more reviews because of the impact of war. So therefore, you may have an advantage, and that's likely to beat me easily. But then again, there's some uncertainty with it. So because of the release date thing, so it may come out this year, it may not. So we'll have to see. But apart from that, it's just it's something I would definitely pick, but I just chose something else. Now,
that's fair. PS Retrest people, Sony ponies have picked Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fair enough. Okay, your next choice.
Mostly PlayStation titles. So
yeah, that's what we've had it auto played that. Yeah.
So I picked some like comfort food with it. So I'm gonna see what I got.
Okay.
So let's see. I think it's just really interesting though, because I think there's a much more choice than I thought it would be. And
so it was a really good year, 2023. We got a lot of choice. I've still got like another 5 or 6 games in my head that I'm like, I definitely want to try and get. So I'm struggling to pick.
The only thing I wouldn't pick is Dead Island 2, because I don't know if it's ever going to come out or not. So that would be too much of a risk.
Yeah, probably not.
But Tekken 8, the only problem with it is it doesn't have a release date. It's likely to be
that's
good.
2024 Tekken 8, yeah.
Yeah, and also I think it's a bit mixed with how people viewed on Tekken 7, so I'm not particularly sure about that. So, but what I'm going to do is... I think...
It's a hard choice, isn't it?
I would say Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. Because I enjoy the Game Boy Advance game, I think the Reboot Camp is likely to be, well, much received well. It could be in the 7s, but...
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
It could get really good, so I'm going to bite the bullet for this one.
That's a good choice. It surprisingly didn't get picked this year. It was meant to come out last year, about April last year, but they had to cancel it because of the war in Ukraine. So they are going to release it at some point. So yeah, you're probably right. It's got to come out this year, surely.
I hope so too.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Good choice.
Now I've got to do another draft. So
yeah.
So there's number 10. So what is there? There's Avowed, Space for the Unbound, Granblue Fantasy Relink, Meet Your Maker.
There's a lot of good stuff. I wouldn't put Meet Your Maker. I don't know. I've heard about that game. I'm not fussed on it, personally.
I was going to go for the more obscure one, but I would have been interested in Ruby Arafel, except it's been released last year. So it could be Ruby Volume 9, except it's not a game.
Yeah, that would work.
Metroid Prime 1 HD, and that one's not announced. But I think
that's a good choice.
I think it would be silly to go pick that one in case it's just a fabricated thing there. But there's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, but that's a movie tie-in, so not sure.
Yeah.
And there's
a lot of good choices.
Metroid Prime 4, that one, I think it would be a dick move if I were to pick it. But then again, it's been announced for years, so I'm not holding my breath with it. So, honestly, this is going to be a bit tricky. And also, even if it's really huge games, chances are it would either have microtransactions or something else that's likely to be less the stellar games. So I'm always going to be that picky. So
that's fair.
I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that's next winter.
Ooh, that's a good one. Again, don't know if that's coming out this year. This is tricky.
It is tricky. And I'm not sure about Diablo 4 because I think, based on the Activision thing, it's going to be like huge, but it's probably not going to be received so much. So I'm going to take a risky entry by picking Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Star Wars Jedi. I was thinking that. That's a good choice. Bravo. Bravo. Very good choice. Oh, the PlayStation We Trust guys have picked The Last of Us multiplayer. Fair enough.
What is a multiplayer game? Is it like...
They're bringing out they're bringing out a multiplayer game for The Last of Us. It's been announced, so it's coming out next year at some point, or this year at some point.
You mean Is it going to be called The Last Ones Surviving of Us?
It's called Last of Us Factions, I believe.
That's a bit boring name, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what? You haven't got faith in it, but I think this is going to be a Game of the Year contender. I'm going to go with Diablo 4. I think that's a good choice. I'm picking up Diablo 4.
Yeah.
And then also I want to try and get some points on the board quite early in the year, so I'm going to pick up Fire Emblem Engage purely because it's coming out in January, so I can get some nice points on the board and get the league started.
Yeah.
So now you got Persona, so that's coming out in January, so we're both going to have some games to kick off the year.
Yeah.
Those are my two choices.
That's interesting about the Diablo 4, and like I said, it really depends on the reputation of Blizzard. Also, Fire Emblem Engage, I can see you picking that, so no surprises there. But anyway,
I love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Three Houses was my game of the year 2017, and I was obsessed with that game. I don't think it's going to be as good as Three Houses, but I'm very excited for it anyway. PS We Trust have picked up Assassin's Creed Mirage. Fair enough. I'm not fussed on that one at all. So
if it's ever going to come out this year.
Yeah, it's the annual Assassin's Creed, so maybe. So you've got... So how many are you on now? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're on 6. You got 4 more picks. And I think I got 4 more picks as well. Or if I got 3 more picks.
Yep. I don't know what's the Sea of Stars one. Do you know?
It's an indie game. Everyone rated it highly from what I've heard, but I don't know what it is. I haven't seen much about it. Because I've watched people do drafts, and they all get picked quite high on a lot of people's drafts, the Sea of Stars, but it's not something that's really in my wheelhouse.
I'm just going to look up on Sea of Stars and see...
Yeah, go ahead.
So, let's see. There should be... Oh, it's a retro-inspired RPG. So, if I can load this up... It's loading up, and it's taking some time to do. Now, let's see. Yep. So, retro-inspired turn-based RPG. So, it's just like going through there, and it seems to be quite inspired. And, well, it's definitely like a retro game, but it's only to be like given a more polish. So, yeah, that's interesting. I think there's a bunch of gimmicks that looks as if it's like more suited for Dreamcast if it were to go through the 2D route. So,
yeah,
I think I will be
picking up then.
Yeah, I think I will pick it up. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'll be setting Sea of Stars for the list. So I'm going to pick that, and there you go.
Cool.
Sea of Stars. Now I think I got another one though. Yep.
You do, yep.
I'm going to pick the more obscure one, but I'm going to have a much more challenging one, and it's just trying to figure out, I could go nuts, or I could go probably not. So, I don't know, does that have anything Pokemon related?
Yeah, I was thinking that. You might have an announced Pokemon game on like the list or something, but then that's risky if nothing comes out.
Maybe
they might have Scarlet and Violet DLC.
Yeah. But Is there going to be any consideration for the DLC for Legends Arceus?
I don't know. They should. That game was great. I don't. They haven't mentioned it, but you never know.
No.
I mean, if Nintendo announce a Pokemon game like before in the next month or so, we can still add games to our team throughout the year by buying. You have 100. So I did mention that earlier, didn't I? So we all have 100 points or 100 coins or whatever, and every game we have $100. And the minimum bid is $1 on a game, and you can bid on games throughout the year to try and add to your team. So obviously we can outbid each other and stuff to get games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I think
you don't have to fill your team, but it's just a good way of building up your squad a bit.
I think I'm going to try the expansion pack because, based on the leaks and rumors, I think there's going to be some game-changing elements in it. So I'm going to select that.
Sounds good.
And
it's a good choice.
Oh, hang a minute. The game is not eligible because the expansion pack tag has been banned.
Oh, that's annoying.
Actually,
I thought I allowed this back. I can override that if you really want it.
Actually, don't worry. I think I'm just gonna pick something. This is a bit challenging, but I think that's going to be. Oh, there's Mina the Hollower, because
that's a good one.
That's the Shovel Knight follow-up, so I thought I would pick that. Sorry.
I forgot about that. That was on my list, and I forgot about that. That's a brilliant choice. Yeah, it's if people don't know what Mina the Hollower is, it's like Shovel Knight was like DuckTales and like Mega Man. Mina the Hollower is kind of like Castlevania, I think, isn't it? And it's like a Game Boy Advance. It looks like a Game Boy Color game. Looks dope. I'm really excited for that. In PS We Trust have picked up Like a Dragon Ishin. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yakuza.
So I got Mina the Hollower website there. So just to give you a little snippet there. I would be really pleased if it comes out in 2000 and comes out this year, and it's already like got a bunch of like good stuff. Especially there's Game Boy Color that's aesthetic and just goes for it. So just hope it just goes through and comes out this year. That would be great. It's already fully funded, so they're already working on it. But
I wish I funded it now. I funded Shovel Knight. I should have funded Shovel Knight as well. Shovel Knight's one of my favourite games of all time. I love Shovel Knight. Yeah. I don't know what to pick. There's so many good choices. Okay, I'm going to pick Redfall. Why has that not been picked yet? We're going to go with Redfall. I trust Arcane. I think Arcane do really good stuff. As I said earlier, we were discussing it earlier when we were saying it's like Far Cry-like. It's made by the people who made Dishonored and Prey, and both of those games are bloody awesome. Deathloop is really good as well. So, open world vampire game by the people who made Prey and Dishonored. I think that sounds like a game that's going to be in the 80s at least, surely. Okay, so I got one more pick this turn. And then this is my last but one pick, so I've got to be careful here. I'm running out of picks. Ooh, last but one. Who would I pick? I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick this one. Wulong Fallen Dynasty. A Souls-type game coming to Game Pass. I think that's a good bet. We'll go with Wulong.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Wulong.
I don't know.
PS We Trust guys have picked Silent Hill 2 remake.
And
so there we go.
They only got
that's
one
a good
more
choice as well.
pick there. But for me, I got to do the draft, so
yeah. This is your final two picks, so pick wisely. These are your last two picks. Ooh, excited.
That's interesting. What I shall be picking is I'm not sure about Octopath, but
I was tempted to Octopath. It looks good.
I think I'm going to pick Monster Hunter Rise for the Xbox and PlayStation 5.
Very
that
good.
would be interesting one because I think people have started to talk about it, so they might probably favour it so much. So that would be good.
That's a good choice. I love that. I love that choice. You
Now,
got one more pick now. The final pick. The final pick.
I'm going to go with
This
a
is
ballsy one. So it's either
Ooh, I love it.
Mortal Kombat 12 or WWE 2K23.
Oh, as a fan of WWE, I should warn you that they are inconsistent. Sometimes their games are good, sometimes their games are bad. It's up to you. I would say probably more. If you're going to go for a gutsy one, I would say Mortal Kombat. I think that's a better choice because they're consistently good games, whereas WWE is
Yes.
like. Woo.
I've completed like Mortal Kombat 11 in terms of story, and I certainly played a lot out of it. So I really enjoyed it. So it'll be nice if they can bring out Mortal Kombat 12. So picking it, there was a story behind it. It's just like so basically, I think I got like 10 games now. First of all, so I'm going to say
games, you did it.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's going to be huge. And I got Street Fighter 6 and then Atomic Heart. Hopefully this will work. But I picked Persona 4 Golden because Persona 4 was received and more people will get to enjoy it because it's released on more platforms, especially the PC.
Yeah, well, it's a good choice.
And there's Advance Wars 1 and 2. Hopefully it works too. Might probably get it in later in the year, depends. But then picked Jedi Survivor. I think it's just the game is it's actually quite favoured, and I think the Survivor would be received well. But Sea of Stars is like an indie game, and I think it might probably be well received because it doesn't have a lot of risk associated with it to do with like microtransactions and stuff like that. So I think might work. And same to go with me and the Oliver, and I think that would be great. Because Shovel Knight has been received so much and became a legend. And then
it's iconic. I love it.
I topped up the more risky ones, which is Monster Hunter Rise and Mortal Kombat 12. Now, the funny story about it is, like, Mortal Kombat, when I was, like, really young, I loved to play Mortal Kombat. I visit my friends' houses to play Mortal Kombat and haven't get to own it. The closest I ever get to like getting the Mortal Kombat game is like I got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for Sega Saturn. My mum told me it's going to be scary because of a 15 on it. So I got it on my Saturn. There was a big laughter there and was like got really scared and just shooed off and ended up returning it for Street Racer. But if I was like brave enough and not like trusted mum saying it's scary, I would have ended up keeping it a very rare game, so sucks.
I love Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is such a good game. I've played all of them. I love them all.
I even asked Santa for like Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy too, but since then it's just like couldn't get any of the Mortal Kombat games. Even tried a demo, but not so much. So when I got like Mortal Kombat 11, it's just like, wow, it's great.
So that is your picks. I like your top 10 is really good. I really like it.
Thanks.
Tears of the Kingdom. I'm jealous that you got Tears of the Kingdom. I really wanted that. Atomic Heart. I think is going to be good, but it is a possibility it might not be. But I think it will be good. Mina the Hollower, I'm jealous of. Again, that's a good one. Star Wars, I love it. I love that list. It's a good list. So the last pick for the PlayStation, the Sony ponies, the PSV Trust, was Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is the PSVR 2 launch title. So there you go. That might be well received. So they've got Marvel Spider-Man 2, Forspoken, Hogwarts Legacy, Dead Space Remake, Final Fantasy 16, Last of Us multiplayer, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Like a Dragon Ishin, Silent Hill 2 remake, and Horizon Call of the Mountain. So if you have a PlayStation, you might they might have a. If we lose to the PlayStation team, I'm going to be very annoyed because we picked really good team. I don't want to lose to the PlayStation team.
I think this is going to be a major fight between Xbox and Sony, unless Nintendo really steps up the whole game.
So this is the final pick of the dog decided to stand up. Sit down. This is the final pick of the draft. Oh, and I don't know what to do here. I could have
simmed it in because it makes the text bigger. So should have done that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I don't know what to do. Do I play it safe and pick a game that's been announced to come out in 2023 that I think is probably going to get 7 and 8, or do I risk it and go for a game that I think's going to get like 9s and 10s but might not come out this year? That's the question. Which one do I do? Do I go for the ballsy one? I think I might go for the ballsy one. I'm tempted.
Go for Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime. That's not what I was going to pick, but Metroid Prime 4 is a good one. No, the game I am picking.
You did actually react to it so much that you really wish for it to come.
2017. I can't wait for that game. I hope it does come out this year. That'd be amazing. No, but the game I'm picking, I think it's going to be a 10 out of 10. This is Xbox's equivalent to Naughty Dog. This is Xbox equivalent to The Last of Us. It was the first game shown for the Xbox Series X, and it was shown again at the Game Awards last year. The Sinuous Saga Hellblade 2. That is my final pick of the draft. I don't know if it's coming out this year. That's the only problem. But that was my final pick. Yeah. So my final team is Starfield, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Forza Motorsport, Armored Core, Fires of the Rubicon, Stalker 2, Diablo 4, Fire Emblem Engage, Redfall, Wulong Fallen Dynasty, and Hellblade 2. I'm quite happy with our list, to be fair. I looked at your list, I thought your list was really good, and I'm looking at my list, and I think that's really good as well. This year is going to be awesome. I love 2023.
Now, if you don't
mind... Now we're on to the
counter
picks.
I'm going to go through the projections there, because in the moment, we've got to pick the games. Now, there's going to be some projections there. So right now, you have a best chance of winning because you're projected to have points closer to 150 points. So you might probably come out on top. But PS with Trust, mainly consisted of PlayStation games, has 138 points and make him second. Whereas I come out on bottom because I have close to 133 points. So that's...
I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to do better than PlayStation. I think you're going to do better. We got to do our counter picks. So you're first in the counter picking.
Anyway,
so what game do you think's going to suck out of me? PlayStation we trust all I got.
Just wait, because I need to go through the list of the projections there, because it's interesting that Starfield will be predicted to have 11.5 points. But Resident Evil, which is a very good choice because it has 13.3 points. So I think that's really interesting. And I think the Armored Core 6 is going to have 10 points. The lowest one is actually Hellblade 2. That's definitely a risky one. And it's followed by Stalker 2, which will have 5.1 points. So you might actually score big with this one. But we don't know. So as for my list, I'm going to get huge points with Legend of Zelda and Street Fighter 6. But I think it's likely that I might get a huge boost due to Atomic Heart and Persona 4. The weakest ones are Mortal Kombat 12 and Advance Wars 1 and 2. But that's when I might...
they'll do well.
Yeah, that's when I might get lucky. And same with Mina the Hollower. So it's just a little check there. But because I picked Persona 4 and Monster Hunter Rise, as well as Atomic Heart, I might get some early points and might actually get to do very well. But who knows? I might have a bit of an underdog David versus Goliath thing. But as for PlayStation, PS We Trust.
Yeah.
The biggest one is going to be, well, the biggest ones actually. Top one is Final Fantasy 15, well, 16 actually.
16, yeah. I'm surprised. I thought Spider-Man would be higher than that. Oh, that's interesting.
It's the second highest, so
Yeah.
probably win. And Hogwarts Legacy, not surprising if it gets huge review scores, but it depends if a lot of people are likely to buy the game or boycott it. But for spoken, it's not going to be received or something like that. But the bottom ones are Silent Hill 2 Remake and The Last of Us multiplayer game, and I think it's because these hasn't been like announced properly yet.
Yeah, that's true, and I think they will do well. I also, when we were doing the draft before the draft, I had them. They would have picked up Resident Evil 4 Remake and Street Fighter 6, so they would have picked up our two of our both our second choices, which is quite hilarious. So we got lucky that we managed to dodge a bullet there.
Yeah,
a bit of an interesting fact, because I know the PlayStation guys, they love Resident Evil and they love Street Fighter, so I was like, oh, I've got to give them those because I know they obsess with those games, those guys. So
I think
we managed to nick it before they could, though.
I think they will be really great because that I picked Legend of Zelda and Street Fighter 6, so that's the one I have the most confidence with. Which one
I think Zelda's a good choice.
Yeah. So which one are you going to be most confident with on the list?
Resident Evil 4, probably, because Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games ever made, and every remake they've done has been very good. So you got a good game and a good remake. In theory, unless it's somehow making shit, I don't know how they're going to do that.
Well, that depends on like the last remakes of Resident Evil. I think Resident Evil 2 Remake has been received fairly well. Well, what do you think?
Yeah. Resident Evil 2 Remake was received really well. Resident Evil 3, not so much. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Resident Evil 4 Remake. I love Resident Evil 4. It's one of my favourite games ever. Maybe it might not get good reviews because people might be like, it's not as good as the original, maybe. I don't know. I feel like Starfield is a risk, but then I'm also like, Bethesda rarely miss. They had Fallout 76, which was awful, but I think like this is a proper Todd Howard game. He's put all his heart and soul into this. They've delayed it to make sure it's going to be polished. I think this is going to be the next Skyrim. I have a good feeling with Starfield. I got high hopes. I got high hopes for Starfield.
To me, I think it's going to be a perfect mixture of Skyrim and Elite. You know, the retro game Elite?
Yeah.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So you still got to... We've got to do our counter picks. So you've got to pick which two games you think are going to be the worst out of mine and PlayStation We Trust's lists.
Oh,
well, you got to pick one at a time. I think you pick one at a time, I think. But I think, yeah, we got to do two total.
So, remind me again how it works with counter picks. Is it like you select the games which you reckon it's going to turn out bad?
Yes, exactly. So if you reckon what games you think are going to get under 70 on Metacritic and get minus points. If the more minus points they get, the more points you get. But a lot of people strategize and they pick games that they think are not going to come out because then you don't lose any points. So basically pick games you think are either not going to come out or you think are going to review terribly. Out of the 20 that on my list and on the PlayStation list.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
It's tricky.
Reginald was gonna pick Hogwarts Legacy, but then it's guaranteed to come out and it's guaranteed to have positive reviews. So I'm gonna have to take that as the benefit of the doubt. But I think there's like the Library 4, and I think like it could receive huge reviews, but it depends on whether it has microtransactions or not. But
that's true, yeah.
I think...
Oh, it's hard, isn't it?
Yes. I think if... Oh, that's a really tough one, actually. But I think what I would do is... I'm going to pick Assassin's Creed Mirage as a counterpick first.
That's a good choice.
So, what are you going to pick?
Have you picked it?
I have. So, the PS3 Trust guys are gonna pick Atomic Heart, so that's what they got.
Damn, that's what I was going to pick. Damn it. It hasn't updated on my side.
Yeah.
My hasn't the counter pick hasn't updated on my side yet. Weird.
It says
Maybe
here
refresh.
that you had to pick counter picks, so
Yeah, it still says you. Oh, there you go. Now it's my turn. Okay, cool. Draft a pick. Ooh, it's hard to choose. I'm gonna pick Forspoken because I've heard people say they think that game's rubbish for the demos and stuff. So I'm gonna go with that. Forspoken.
even your dog's not happy with it.
I get to pick twice. Okay. What's my other one? This is hard. I'm gonna pick Mortal Kombat because I don't think it's coming out. But it might come out. Who knows? But yeah, there you go.
You might actually win that, but it depends really. Anyway,
they've picked. Oh, they picked Hellblade. Boo! I like Hellblade. It's your final pick. It's your final counter pick.
oh boy. Wait a minute. Which one have I picked so far? I only picked like
You picked Assassin's
one.
Creed.
Yeah, I only picked
Yeah,
like
we're only doing 2 counter picks.
Yeah.
So
Very
2
well.
counter picks.
Wait, I was going to pick something from your list, but that's going to be really difficult because you really have some very good titles there. So I think that's going to be harder to pick from it. So I don't know.
I mean, do you want my advice? I think Silent Hill remake because I don't think it's going to come out. Honestly,
Yeah.
or Last of Us multiplayer.
I think I would pick Silent Hill 2 remake, but it's just a matter of whether it's going to come out or not. But I think I'll just bite the bit on this one. So the draft is complete. So now that's it.
From here on, you can make bids for games that we were not drafted. However, you may want to hold on to your available budget until later in the year. There you go. Done. So if there's any games that you've missed out on, if you guys in the comments below think there's any games that we've missed out on, let us know. We might place some bids later or tomorrow or later on in the year, whenever we're available. So
I would say
exciting stuff.
I would say that there's going to be an extra quick subject, and whenever we do something with the Fantasy League, like you can remind me to do this because I'm not likely to follow the schedule for it because I've got other projects too. Yeah. But
that's all right.
But when we do any updates, we'll mention it on the podcast because I think this is going to be a year-long stuff. So, but yeah, as it stands, I think you do have a best possibility of like succeeding. So, yeah, I
think your team's really good as well. I think you've got a really good shot as well. I think it's gonna be close. Also, I was thinking, basically, I think maybe the week after E3 or 2 weeks after E3, we'll maybe do an update. So it's like halfway through the year, plus there's a load of new games that we could have added to our list. Yes. That'd be a good time to do the update for the fantasy draft. But yeah, that's our fantasy draft for 2023.
Yeah.
What would you have drafted? Do you think our drafts are awful? Who do you think's going to win? Let us know in the comments below. Do you think the PlayStation people might actually beat us, which would be hilarious because they're like CPU basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't because I could have given him a load of rubbish games. I could have given him Skull and Bones and stuff like that. I could have given him awful games, and I could have completely tanked him. But I think I gave him a good list. And I think I did a nice job with them. I think I gave him a fair, good list of games there. What do you guys think, though? Maybe I'm not. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. Now this is that's the end of the episode, I guess. Is there anything else you wanted to?
I had so much fun with it, a lot more than I expected. So I think it's really interesting. I think it just allows us to like analyze and see which ones work, and it's also easier to understand for me to know which to pick compared to the Fantasy League because I don't know how that's supposed to properly work. But But with this one, it's easy to know, and you can easily like tell which is going to work or some sort. So we can definitely do more of it. Who knows? It might it might even be a separate series, but who knows? It just
that'd be cool.
Depends really. But right now it's just like we're sticking to the podcasts. I have yet to release the Game of the Year video, which I haven't even started on the script. But instead, I'll be focusing on recovering from the cold and catching up with some things. Fair. So, lots of fun.
Lots of fun. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun. Let us know if you guys enjoyed that. Maybe next year we maybe actually get the PlayStation people in and they can pick their own games. Maybe that might be fun too. But this year, I think we're one-on-one competition with like a third computer. I think that sounds like fun. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time. Too sweet.
Bye.
Guys. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.